Talking about becoming, you've had a physical transformation. So I remember the very first time I ever saw Lisa Nichols was, well, I heard you on Sean Croxton, then I saw you on Steve Harvey.
Yeah.
Now you look remarkably different. Tell me how you are this vision sitting in front of me.
I was about almost 100 pounds heavier. And most people think, and this is the first time in my life that I'm actually talking about it. So you are less than 4 interviews so far, because I gave myself permission to deal with my own healing before I served anything to my public. One of the things that I'm very comfortable doing is holding my journey to me until I'm comfortable sharing it, until I'm ready to share it. I don't feel like I owe anything before I'm comfortable doing it. And so my health was really one of those, because I feel in the next couple of years, I'll be doing the Lisa Nichols life story. And I think what that life story will show in movie form will be the health hell that I was dealing with privately that people didn't know publicly, through chicken soup for the African American soul, chicken soup for the African American woman soul, The Secret, No Matter What, through all of these books that were getting me so much notoriety while they were out there and I was out there, and I was on Oprah and on Good Morning America and on Larry King, and in the background I was dealing with some very horrific health challenges. Respectfully, I was on my menstrual cycle for 28 days, a month. And one doctor said, "You are slowly bleeding to death." I had 6 blood transfusions in 3 years. I would get off stage and I would drive myself straight to urgent care. I would feel lethargic and out of energy. And I would sit behind stage and just ask God, give me enough to get through 45 minutes. There's this count that women have. 14 points is their blood count on average, is where it should be, something along that lines. Forgive me if I misquoted, but it's around that. And my average blood count was 6.5 to 7. So I was always trying to get up enough energy to be what I aspired to be for people and what I felt my calling was to be. And I was constantly climbing over this health hell and the embarrassment. Going up and down in planes created some really embarrassing moments. No intimacy. So I was around people, but not with anyone. And it was my privacy. And no one was privy to that privacy, mainly because I don't talk about a battle that I'm in. And I really don't talk about a battle that I feel like I'm losing. And when people would call me, "You're like Superwoman," I would say, well, then if I'm Superwoman, my health is my kryptonite in my head. I couldn't lose weight no matter what I did. And I thought it was me. And I came from being an athlete for 13 years. I was a state champion. I held the 330 low hurdle records at my high school for 18 years. I swam competition. I broke records there. Who I was morphing into was not congruent with who I'd always been. And I'm an athletic person. I'm an active person. Active all the time. I choose active game nights. I'm just active. And so this weight just kept going, and it was slowly going on. It wasn't like I didn't gain. It was just consistently rising. And I didn't understand what was happening. And finally I just went and got a thorough, just test everything from heartbeat to blood to stool to iridology, my eyes and everything. Test everything. Something is happening to me. I don't know what it is. And the doctors didn't know why the cycle was long. They didn't know why the weight gain. Nothing was congruent. Everything was healthy. We just don't know. And then I just said, just take it out. Give me a hysterectomy. because that'll stop it. And they said, we refuse to. You're too young. You're in your 30s. You're not married, and you only have one child. So no one would touch me to stop that, at least. If you don't know what it is, take this out because that'll fix it. And no one would do that. So I go more years and I gain more weight and slowly morphing into my body into something that I didn't authorize. So I just shut down. I said, I'm dead, neck down dead. And I begin to feed my mind, feed my spirit, because I can control that. And I looked up and I was 220 pounds and felt like it was unfair because I was the super green eater. I was the active with my son. I was mad and I couldn't tell anyone because no one believes when you're overweight that you really didn't eat bonbons and ice cream all day. Like no one believes that. And so I didn't even bother to ever try to tell anyone that. I'll take the hit. I'll take the hit like I ate bonbons and cupcakes all day. And though I did not. And then I did this thorough study, and I was on stage. I think it was either Canada. I can't remember. It was either here in Canada or Utah. And I was in front of 11,500 people. And it was an amazing experience. I'd already done this thorough all day 4-hour experience with this doctor. And she said, we're going to find out what it is. And that's a couple of weeks later and on stage. And I was really excited because there were 14 different languages there, all being translated simultaneously. And it was just really neat with all the boxes in the back of the room and everyone had on headsets and I could see them translated and everyone's laughing at my jokes in layers based on how the delayed. It was really fun. I just had so much fun with it. And I autographed about 348 books afterwards. And I autographed a book in every single language that was there. And so it was just really neat seeing my cover and different. It was just one of those days. I just was like, this is amazing. This is motivating the masses. And then I go upstairs and my doctor comes up on the screen and she's on Zoom. And she said, sit down. We need to spend some time together. And I just felt it. It was like, this doesn't feel good. Like anticlimactic to my past experience an hour ago. And she had my assistant, Margaret, was with me, and she handed me 37 pages. And she began to walk through these pages with me. And around the third page, she pointed out that you are now morbidly obese. And my visual didn't match that because I would gain weight proportionally. I was always athletic. So there was no flab hanging anywhere. It was really misconceived. And it was really dangerously, because I could move so well. I was so agile. And she was like, I don't care what you can do on stage. I don't care how athletic you are with your son. You are morbidly obese. The numbers don't lie. First hit. And then she went on to say, a worst case of sleep apnea wakes up 30 to 35 times an hour. Your sleep studies shows that you wake up 62 times an hour. She said, so it's not a matter of if you're going to have a heart attack. It's a question of when and where will you be when you have a heart attack. Then she went further. Will you be on stage in front of people? Will you be on a plane? Will you be in a hotel by yourself? Or will you be at home with your son? And she said, I'm saying this not as your doctor, but as a student, as someone who's sat in your room, and I know how much the world needs you. You need medical help. You need to have a surgery to help you lose weight, to help you get sleep, to help you increase your heart rate, to help you lose the rest of the weight. She said, it's simple. And my ego wouldn't let me do it. My ego said, you're an athlete. You should do it the natural way. And she said, you have this collision. You just have this collision of unfortunate circumstances where you have sleep apnea. You have this challenge with your cycle. You just can't, it's not going to happen, Lisa. You need help to get there. And do you know I resisted still for 2 years? My ego for 2 years. And then 2 years later in November, I was in a hotel room and I felt a chill. And it scared me. Was that a chill like I'm about to die? Or was that the air condition? And I said, if I died tonight, I would have committed a conscious suicide because I knew. And that snapped. Oh, girl, it snapped me. I got home. I just prayed, God, let me get through tonight. God, let me wake up in the morning. God, let me get off this plane. Literally, it was like all my ego had died away. And I realized that I wasn't being a good student. I wasn't being coachable. My ego was going to kill me. And I ran home and ran to the doctor. And normally it takes 6 months to schedule a gastric bypass was what my doctor recommended. It takes 6 months to schedule that because you have to go through the nutritionist and the psychologist. They want to make sure your mindset is ready for it. I went to the doctor. They looked at all my tests and scheduled me for 30 days later. And the doctor said, I want you to know that the 30 days is how urgent this is for you. And then for the next 18 months to 2 years, I lived in shame. So when I first released the weight, when you first saw me on social media and everyone was talking about it, notice I never replied. I went in a cave because I still felt like I cheated and I had so much shame and I didn't want to reply because I wasn't ready to share my personal health hell. And yet I didn't want any of it. I didn't want it. I said, now everyone's climbed into my bedroom. And the thing that I hid and managed the most sacred, everyone's in this conversation with me unconsciously. No one knew. And so it took me about 18 months to 2 years just to settle in. You did what you had to do to save your life. The first 35, 40 pounds I lost because of the surgery. And then I was right in the gym. And then I did all the things that I was already doing. I just now was able to get enough sleep. I was able to get off the sleep machine. I was able to see. I'll never forget the first day I woke up and I had gotten enough sleep. It was like the world was clear to me. I was like, whoa, I didn't realize how foggy I was. And so it's a different story than many people would expect. And it took me a while to be willing to go, this is my truth. It's not the health and wellness and fitness and starting the gym. I started in a doctor's office saying help. And I ended in the gym. And so.
But it's a powerful story, Lisa, because I would imagine.
I'm still getting used to sharing it.
I would imagine there are many women.
Many.
And men too, who are in that shame, who feel like somehow I am cheating if I do it.
Well, they won't do it. They won't do it because of the guilt or the ego or the shame. Mm. And so they live inside locked in this obese body, locked in this unhealthy situation. And because we made it mean you can only go this way, you can only do it this way. And there's never an only. Mm-hmm. And yet I was in it. And as I get more courage, and I'm getting comfortable with this conversation, as I get more courage, I know that I am going to be a beacon of possibility for overweight people in general, whatever way they choose to go. I had to heal enough to say I was once morbidly obese. And now I'm living my healthiest life ever. And that was a journey, and I want to help others get on that journey too.
What are you most proud of?
What am I most? The word most is hard because it makes you choose the top. Can I just give you my top tier?
Let's go with the top tier. You're Lisa Nichols. You're doing what you want.
Lisa Shantae Nichols.
Lisa Shantae Nichols.
And I like the way you say Shantae. You say it like my homegirl. I'm most proud of the fact that I never had to choose between family or successful career, global successful career, that I took having to choose off the table. I chose both. And my relationship with my family proves that I chose both. Like the way it looks. There's no regrets. I didn't miss anyone's birthdays. I didn't, and if I did, we made up for it. We had a birthday a month later as if it were their birthday. Like I'm proud of that. I'm proud that I prioritize my family while I live my dreams. It wasn't an either or. I'm proud of my relationship with my son. We were on the phone yesterday, and he's a chef now. And his latest thing is that he's making me fresh jam and fresh barbecue sauce. Like he's making it. Like I was like homemade from scratch, like stuff that I would never do. So he called me, Mom, what cuisines do you like? I was like Asian and smoky and mango sweet. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna, and he's at my house today while we're here. He's at my house because he loves cooking in my kitchen. It's a little more space than his kitchen, right? And that I have a relationship where my adult child, and he said, when you come home, we're going to do this together, Mom. That I prayed when he was young that I want to be in his top 5 friends. I just want to be in his top 5. Back in the day, they used to have Fave 5. It used to be like there was some commercial out Fave 5. And I remember saying, God, I want to be in my son's Fave 5. And so without ever saying it, because I don't want to tell him so he feels like he has to put me there. I just wanted to be the kind of mother and then become friend. And I always knew my son would be able to choose me as an adult. He had to have me as a mom when he was growing up, but he gets to choose me as an adult. And I wanted him to choose me out of choice, not out of obligation. And so I'm proud of that. I'm proud that I've stayed Lisa Shantae Nichols, that in this part of my life, I'm whisked away. I live a first class life and I experience a first class experience. When I come like this, everyone treats me with the homage and the honor of who I am. And in all of that, I am still your girlfriend. I'm still your sister friend. My humility is always sitting at the forefront of who I am, that there's never an expectation of what I think I should get, that I'm really from a core, I'm grateful. I'm grateful when people ask me to speak. I'm grateful that they want to hear me. Like it's not a manufactured, I don't have to download it. It sits right there. And I'm grateful that I have my 90-year-old grandmother. She told me when I was in my 20s, I think I was smart mouthing off. And she said, sweetheart, you can go get all the knowledge you want, but your knowledge will never outlast my wisdom.
Preach, Grandma.
Right. And now I'm in my 50s. And I think there's nothing more delicious than sitting and listening to her wisdom. I love her stories. I love her stories. I love how one day she was talking about someone who was not being very nice. And I said, Grandma, whisper. She said, baby, I'm too old to whisper. You whisper, you take care of that. And I just love the right that comes with being 90. I love the freedom. I love the self-assurance. I love everything about being 90. And I love that I get to witness it, that she gives me something to aspire to. My mother rocks her 70s like I've never seen anyone rock 70s. I'm grateful my parents are still alive to see the woman that I've become. I'm grateful that my brother will sit on the front row of my speeches and nod and take notes. I'm grateful. I'm grateful that the thing that I'm most grateful for is that when I sit down, I will not live forever. My time will come. When it's time for me to go, I can say, I did my best. And I will hear, I believe in all my soul, job well done, my child. That's what I'm most grateful for, that I am obedient to my gift. And I'm obedient to my calling at whatever the cost. I don't measure my obedience based on what it will cost me. Most people measure the cost, then they choose to be in action. I commit to action, and then I check in for what is it going to cost me. I'm such a crybaby. Sorry. It's just the year. It's the whole year. It's just that kind of year. God, I think hopefully I'm losing water weight. Today would represent 5 pounds for sure.
Lisa, one of the descriptions that I hear about you when people talk
what do you hear about me? What do they say about me?
They say this woman is on fire. Like when you're on stage, you're on fire. What does it mean to you to be a woman on fire?
Yeah. You know, when I'm on stage, I'm like, I'm kind of beastie. Like when I say that, I don't mean that like in a topical way, like I'm amazing. I mean, like, I almost feel like I don't care if I don't ever get invited back. I don't care what happens that somebody might YouTube or none of that, none of it. I am so for your breakthrough right there, like non-negotiable, like everything's off the table except that. And that's what people see. Like, I'm like, I don't like everything else is optional. Your breakthrough, that's the only thing right now I'm coming for. I'm coming for you. And that's what people feel. You feel that there's something. This is not the average. This not the, like, you know, a PowerPoint's not coming. Like, you just know, right? Because I'm in your soul. Like, I want a cellular connection. I want to touch your soul. I want the God in me to find the God in you and touch it and be there with you and stir up something. And I don't want this message to be convenient for you. I want it to be something that sits you in your conviction. And that's what I come for. I don't come to spread my brand. Everything that happens is a byproduct of my agenda. Does that make sense? So because of that, fire happens. Because of that, I don't come to be on fire. I come for your transformation. A fire is what stirs up while I'm going after it. And I also want to dissolve any and every line you've ever had between you and me, you and her, you and he, you and she. There is where I believe a part of what I'm here for is to have humanity be one color inside of all of our differences, but the human spirit in me and the human spirit in you, now that right there, they get to touch and play and and so that I'm clear. That's why I'm in Slovenia, in Croatia, in Ireland, in Budapest, in Dubai. Like why else would I be in all these places if not was to show our humanity, right? And the humanity in us. And so, I watch me sometime on stage and go, whoa. Like I watch it afterwards and go, whoa. Like I see it. I go, oh, like it's an out of body experience. It's a walking in order, walking in authority, walking your authority, right? It's that. And then later I look at it and go, oh, and so much so that as I started saying to anyone who may have me come out, if you want me to go last, I'll go last. Like, I'm okay with that. Like, I'm okay with that because I'm not keeping score on, where's the best place and where's the best positioning. No, if there's souls in the room, then I want to be in that room. And so I'm grateful when people see it and feel it and talk about it. And
now, I know we could talk till forever, ever, but I know you gotta
come together, and we'll come together again.
We will.
Yes.
And what I want to ask you is, so this platform is called Ndini. I'm from Zimbabwe.
Ndini.
And beautiful. That means I am. Because I believe in the power of you declaring your own destiny.
I am that I am that I am.
So you finished that sentence, Lisa Shante. Okay, Nichols.
Yeah.
I am. Finish the sentence.
Yes. So number one, I just have to tell you that in my son's room, when we built our first house, and it was a pivotal moment in who we had become, on his wall, it said, I am ... I am ... I am ... And I said, as long as you look up, son, just finish the sentence. Amen. Full circle. I am enough. For everything that I think of, every dream that I dare to dream, I am enough. And for every time that I've fallen down, I am still enough.
I have no words to thank you. I actually want to just, you know what? When this was a dream, when this whole platform and this mission that I am realizing is my life, and it's a mission that I resisted for a really long time because it felt so scary to step into. Still feels scary stepping into it. When I thought about starting this platform, I wrote a list of the 20 women that I most wanted to sit across from and ask questions and have them share their wisdom with me. And your name was on that list. And to have you sit here today, because you have blazed a trail for so many of us. Because of you and what you have done, we can see possibilities that perhaps the world tells us are not possible. And I would imagine it's a difficult place for you to sometimes be. And I want you to know that there are people like me who are so grateful for you, for what it means to step into being Lisa Nichols, everything that goes with it. You talked about everything that goes, just a little, like this was just a snippet of what goes into it. We just see, like you said, the glam part on stage and flying across the world. But I know there's incredible sacrifice, there's incredible pain, there's all these things. And I want you to know that we see you. And we are grateful for you. And you're blazing a trail for so many of us who now can dream the possibility of something different. And I honor you for that, Lisa.
Thank you,
and I am so grateful.
Thank you.
So grateful to have
When I sit across from you, I take a deep breath and go, that's why I did it. So you're evidence to me. Like you're evidence for me. Like I believed it to be so, but I didn't have any evidence for many, many years because I didn't know who was hearing or what they were doing with it. And so when I sit across from you and I see you, I see me and you, I see you and me, I go, oh, thank you, God, for the evidence. So thank you for doing what you do. You will touch and inspire a whole slew of people that will never see me or will see me, but I'm not their beacon. You'll be their beacon. And because Wonder Twin Powers touch, activate, connect, then all of a sudden more people will be served. So I'm grateful for you. Thank you for taking the path that's not necessarily the most convenient, but it's the most necessary. You're welcome. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I just want it on the record that y'all said no to me the first time, and the second time I reached out to your team and they were like, thank you so much for contacting Ms. Nichols. She appreciates your interest.
I'm blown away with how many requests we get. I'm still blown away. And I'm not on the front line. They have to do that part. And I don't even want that job. Like, I'm just like, she has had to do it.
I don't want it. I gave it to somebody else.
Yeah. It's a hard job. It's a hard job. And I used to try to say yes. I'm like, you guys just try to say yes. They were like, Ms. Nichols, you don't have enough days in the year for all the yeses. And so I'm grateful that we got to the yes.
I am so grateful.
But here's what I want to acknowledge you for in the no. You didn't let the no stop you. And I'm sitting in front of you because you don't let the no stop you across the board. So resiliency and determination is in our bones. It's in our blood. It's in our lifeline. It's in our lineage. And it's our job to, as sisters, to make our humanity available for the world to experience. I think as women, we will be the healing agent. And as women of color, it's our job to hold on to Black women, Asian women, Latino women, white women, and to create this space where we hold steady, that we can rise above the things that are happening. And so it's in that same determination that got me here that's going to help us heal. So thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're
welcome.
Thank you. I know you have places to go. I know you have people waiting for you. So I am incredibly grateful that we could.